So welcome back to Team Hare, the fast car. When we say fast, 120 kilometers an hour, set on the cruise control, air conditioning set at 22 degrees and automatic. We're allowed to overtake as we need, and there's quite a bit of overtaking happening here.
Oh yeah.
Day one didn't go too bad. It actually went a lot better than planned, eh? But now we sit with a rather challenging day because the distance between the points here are just that little bit larger.
Yeah.
We departed from Colesberg, and Beaufort West is about
maybe 300 k's away.
Yeah, about 320 kilometers away.
Meanwhile, Richmond is like, from when we calculated a bit earlier, it's about maybe 114, 120 k's, I'd imagine.
Because Richmond's an option.
Yeah.
So we could make it to Beaufort, but then there's only about 6 kilometers left on our range.
Yeah.
And that's cutting it a little fine. So what I'd like to do is I'd like us to just do a splash and dash in Richmond.
Yeah.
Alright, so you join us on day 2. I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday's drive, and we arrived yesterday at the guest house and we were chilled, relaxed, had a nice evening.
Yeah, I think we did it right, and we're going to continue with our strategy today, and I think we might be surprised at the results.
Yeah, so next stop, Beaufort West. We should be arriving there with quite a bit still left in the battery, and we're going to be refreshed. And I think they're going to be a little bit stressed because I do believe they have to stop before our first stop.
So we've arrived in Richmond, and we had to stop in Richmond because 120 kilometers an hour has actually come back to haunt us. We started out and we would have been able to make it to Beaufort, but
I'm eating my words.
yeah, those trucks. We overtook a couple of trucks as well, and that, of course, ate into our charge. Now the niggle is, here at Richmond, the DC is not working, it's not operational, so we've had to plug in AC. We're just going to top it up a little bit, and then we're going to head through to Beaufort, and then we're going to bang up the rest of the charge with the DC there. And where is Sean and them?
Probably behind.
Looking at our battery percentage, we've gotten a nice little tow. We've got DRS activated behind the truck here, and we've got 58% of our battery left, 208 k's of indicated range, and we've only got 180 k's to go. So
We're going to make it quite nicely.
we'll make it easily.
We are mildly frustrated.
Yeah.
Why are we mildly frustrated?
Richmond screwed us.
Yeah.
We lost an hour.
Yeah.
We would have just had to stop for like 30 minutes. We ended up having to stop for 90 minutes. And as a result, they blasted past us.
Well, Sean, we just passed Richmond, and guess who we saw standing in the charging bay?
Well, there was a black I-Pace there, and I'm assuming that it's our colleagues because I don't think there's another black I-Pace just sitting in Richmond. So.
Well, it looks like we've made it to Beaufort West, and we're still ahead. We arrived with 21% of charge. We are now going to charge to 65%. It's going to take us about 40 minutes, and in that time, we're going to grab some chai, and by the time the food's ready, the charge is done, and we'll be on our way. As far as challenges go, Sean, on the way down, anything?
Yeah, so we just did over 300k, sort of 320 kilometers. I think the biggest challenge was trucks and stop and go for roadworks and construction. But we actually turned that into a bit of an opportunity where we followed trucks and got a bit of a tow from them. Trucks that were doing about 100 k's an hour, and we actually saved quite a bit of range. We arrived with quite a bit more in our battery than we anticipated. So that means we get to charge a little bit for less time here, and we can get back on the road sooner and extend our lead.
Okay, cool.
3 guesses who got pulled over in a roadblock. So, average speed cameras, and they were just enforcing it, but that does mean that we had to slow down and we had to stop again, and they want to check license and all that sort of stuff. It's fine. Yep. It's visible, active policing. We're not going to knock it. They're doing their job. They were hoping that they were going to catch us on the average speed. And I said, no, mate, we're set at 120 kilometers an hour, and we haven't changed that at all. But we've just pulled in to Beaufort West, and let's go and find that charger. Yep, that's not a white car. That's our car. That's their car. Hello. And they're hogging the DC charger. Come on. I mean, we made some good time. We made like 15 minutes getting here. But they're hogging the charger. We kind of knew this was going to happen. We lost an hour in Richmond because the DC wasn't available, so we had to go with AC. And now they're blocking us. So we're still plumbing a little bit of AC into our car, and that's going to help top us up. As soon as they disappear, then we'll go into the DC, and we're going to find out if that 120 kilometers an hour is going to work to our advantage.
Don't you walk away. Don't. No. I see. Why are you eating your chocolate slowly?
They've already eaten. We still need to get lunch.
That is correct. I'm quite famished.
All right, so lunch it is. It is just after 1 o'clock now, and the bellies are rumbling. So here we are on the 200 kilometer stretch between Beaufort West and Loadshedding. Unfortunately, at our 120 kilometers an hour, we're not going to be able to make it from Loadshedding into Cape Town. We're going to have to stop again, and this is getting a little frustrating.
Well, it looks like we made it to Loadshedding, and we are still way ahead of the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, and what's amazing to me is how, as we progress with the journey, I get less and less anxious because I'm starting to trust the car's range, and I'm starting to realize that, okay, when it says we've got a certain amount of range, it's not like a petrol car where you sometimes see the range and then it kind of just disappears. This is quite precise.
So what did we arrive here with?
We arrived here with 13% of our battery intact, and that equated to about 48 Ks. So earlier I would have been quite anxious about that, but now I'm in a different mindset. I'm like, that's actually plenty.
So we caught them again.
Only by 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
We're almost finished charging.
They're almost on the way out now. These smug.
Yeah,
Let's get this shadow out the way.
We can afford to be a little bit smug. This is our smug face.
This is actually just the face of people who are going to get to dinner on time. That's what that
Pretty much, yeah.
Why are you flexing?
So aside from the delay in Richmond, we had them blocking us in Beaufort.
By 20 minutes.
Yeah, by about 20 minutes. So now they're still extending that lead of theirs because they're only going to be blocking us for the next 5 minutes or so. But then we can plug in, which means that we've possibly sort of gained again, but we haven't gained enough to offset that 1 hour deficit. So, welcome to Near Midnight Chronicles. It is pitch black outside, and the sun set rather quickly in Loadshedding. We encountered a little bit of a problem though.
Yeah, it dawned on us at sunset.
Yeah, it dawned on us at sunset that if we were to leave Loadshedding and then hit Mountain Mill, which is out in Worcester, for a top-up, a splash and dash, that wasn't going to work. Because, ladies and gentlemen, load shedding. And the charger in Mountain Mill doesn't have backup generators. So all the chargers, except for the Richmond one, along this way, have had backup generators. So in the same way that the petrol pumps can still pump during load shedding, the chargers can still charge during load shedding because of the generator backup. So the load shedding argument is largely a moot point in most places, but in Mountain Mill, where they don't have it connected up to backup power, it means that we were going to either sit and waste 2 hours there waiting for the power to come back on before we could charge the car, or we could spend that time in Loadshedding where we know the charger is working, charge it to 100%, and then just bomb through to Cape Town in one go, bypassing the Mountain Mill charging station. So that's what we decided to do.
Well, we have made it to our final destination in Cape Town. Team Slow wins.
Yep.
We made it with an entire 9% of battery left.
Yeah, a little bit anxiety inducing. It was a bit touch and go at one point, but I think we pulled it back quite nicely.
Yeah, very much. So we arrived, we plugged the car in, we're busy taking on charge. So we decided to make a phone call and gloat a little bit with our win, only to find out that our opponents are still 2 hours behind us, which means they are only going to get here in 2 hours, then they still have to charge, so it's going to be a really long day for them. So I tell you what, Sean, we finish up our charge, we get it to the accommodation, and we'll catch up with the losers in the morning.
And there we go, we've made it. Hey, look at that, we've even got some great lighting.
There we go.
Garden Shopping Centre in Cape Town.
Destination.
Yeah, we made it. It is 25 minutes past 10. That has been a long day on the road.
Yeah, no, it definitely has been. And unforeseen things have happened, but we made it.
We have made it. That is Johannesburg to Cape Town in an electric vehicle. Admittedly, we spread it over 2 days, and yeah, sadly, we have lost the race. But tells you everything you need to know about making the journey down. There we go, that concludes our epic dual-part 2-day video on taking an electric vehicle from Johannesburg down to Cape Town. We've answered that question, can it be done? And yes, it can be done. The infrastructure is there to do it.
I think we've learned that sort of taking 2 days to do a trip like this, compartmentalizing the journey with the charging stops, etc., is a lot more enjoyable, a bit more relaxing. It's a better way, I think, to travel than hopping into your traditional ICE vehicle and trying to get there in sort of 13 hours.
Yeah, I think we've also proven that going slower is faster. That 2 hour lead time sort of just kicked your butts.
Actually, I have to add into that. We did bullet on the first day, and it did prove to be quite effective. But then, yes, as we've seen in the second day, that things did slow down significantly. But I think a hybrid structure of the two works a lot better. That, okay, fine, you can bullet down in the first half, but then also the second half, there's a lot more to see. I mean, you got the marvelous sights and that. So hybrid model, I reckon, is probably the best way to get down.
And I bet you weren't expecting that one. That is our conclusion. The best way to get an electric vehicle from Johannesburg down to Cape Town is not by going fast, it's not by going slow, it's by using a blend of the two. We want to thank you very much for watching this video and joining us on this epic journey. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and search AutoTrader.
Search AutoTrader.